So you wanna know why I like light machine guns? Come on, where's the rest of you? Don't try and trick me, boys. I know where you're coming from. I love light machine guns because they can do goofy shit like this. Shit, will you just excuse me for a moment? We'll be with you in a second. There we go. Let's dance. Have some of this, pal. That's what I like to call train wrecking. How can you not love LMGs when you can just become a crazy bastard like that? But more specifically, this ain't just any old LMG, this is the PKP Pecheneg. And if you're unfamiliar with this, and you've played previous Modern Warfares, I would say it compares best to the RPD. Just think of this old git as the RPD's long-lost cousin, the PKP. RPD to PKP, and PKP to boop boop. And to kick off my summary on the PKP, first impressions were not good. I didn't like it at first, but that was a bare PKP. I had no proficiency, no attachments. All I had was the irons. From there I had to work my way up, hoping that something might make this gun actually feel very comfortable, and I realized that the problem I was having was not with the iron sights. In fact, I encourage iron sight use, but I'll come back to that later. The problem was the visual recoil. Not the recoil, the gun doesn't actually kick that much, but the visual recoil, the kind of bounciness you see on the screen. The irons kick up like a bastard in your face. They kick up so that you can't see what the hell's going on in front of you. And what that means is that when you start giving it some welly, like you want to do with a light machine gun, it means that you're going to have a tough time staying on target when you start shooting. Not because it's kicking away, but because you can't see what the fuck you're shooting at because of all the bounciness. Not to mention that you get quite a lot of muzzle flash from this light machine gun when you start shooting it. So, all in all, kind of difficult to see what you're shooting at when you start firing. And I thought a red dot might cure it. It didn't. The frame just happens to bounce up along with the sights. Tried holographic. Admittedly, it's more steady, but I generally don't like holo sights because I find the frame to be a little too obtrusive when you're looking through it. So, what can you do about it? Yeah, I know what you're thinking. What the fuck is that thing you've got there? Yes, gents, believe your eyes. It's a thermal scope. I'm sure a few of you might know where I'm coming from here, but the majority of you who have not tried out thermal scopes on automatics in this game will be thinking, what in the actual fuck have you done to your gun? That looks quite dreadful. And to those people, I say, have you ever heard the expression, don't knock it till you tried it, or don't judge a book by its cover? Feel free to slap it on, and then come back to me afterwards and tell me just quite how dreadful your experience was, because I think your minds will change. What I like about the PKP is that it is very, very suited to fitting some goofy attachment combinations to it, and it performs well with them, whether it's a thermal scope or whether it's an ACOG scope, and I will explain shortly why I think these attachments seem to pair well with the PKP over the red dot and the holo. But for now, have you ever played a ground war on Outpost? If you haven't, let me tell you, it's loud. It's very loud, and it's mostly because of this little area right here, and because of javelin launching. And the reason it's considered a hotspot for javelin launching is because if you're there at the right time, you may end up with a nice tasty triple or more. Lock on, fire, wait, 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 and enjoy the fireworks. If you're not sure you can go as goofy as thermal and ACOG in your PKP, you can go with the irons or the red dot and holo, but to combat the bounciness, you can take the grip like I have here, and I also have speed, because I take bullets, and I like to be able to dodge out the way when need be. With speed, you can feel nimble and agile, as if you had an assault rifle or even better, a submachine gun, and you can keep up with the pace that everybody else has settled at. Speed is a proficiency that I like on light machine guns, but I think it's better suited in less populated game modes, but I think light machine guns are generally better suited to big game modes like Ground War, where you have lots of people to shoot at. The light machine gun's best selling point is that it can just constantly spit out bullet after bullet after bullet, and with extended mags like I have here, I have 150 rounds of ooh la la tied to the belt, and that still ain't enough because they are constantly flooding out. This is the kind of situation light machine guns were made for. Areas like this on Arkaden, there's constantly a rush of enemies around here, and it's never quiet. You will always need some bullets handy. And I've run out, I've got to go away and reload. Extended mags may not be the best choice. The reason I think things like thermal and ACOG are actually worthy choices is because Like I said earlier, the biggest fault with the PKP is the bounciness of the irons, the red dot and the hollow frames when you're firing, kicking up in your face. The visual recoil. With the thermal scope, you don't get that, you don't feel it. Your face is buried in the scope. You can't see the tip of the gun through it, and you can't see the muzzle flash either. And right now, I am feeling some javelin action, because I have a long open line of sight ahead, and they don't know I'm here. And you, slow down sir, you definitely don't know I'm here. Please God, hipfire, save me. Where's my javelin? There's my javelin with a nice double. What the fuck just happened? Thermal scope fun time. Fun for all the family. And remember, the problem was never the kick. The problem was the visual recoil where it was kicking up in your face and you physically couldn't see. If the gun isn't kicking about that much, do we really need grip? Do we really need kick proficiency? Even with the thermal scope where generally you'd think you'd have a little more recoil to deal with. No, you don't. In fact, I would recommend you go stability if you really wanted to use thermal. But the best attachment for the PKP, in my opinion, the suppressor. You don't need a grip. You don't need kick proficiency. You don't need a red dot. You don't need a hollow. The iron sights are fine. They're lovely. They're like the RPDs. Long lost cousins, both blessed with the same beautiful, generous iron sights. Nice and clear. Our problem has always been the visual recoil and muzzle flash. The suppressor removes muzzle flash, but it also feels to me like it tones down the bouncy nature. It almost suppresses the visual recoil. Not to mention, it leaves people clueless and you can shoot them in the back for days because you ain't gonna show up on the map. All the things that I didn't like about this PKP when I first started using it. The bounciness kicking up in my face. Well, we've eliminated that by simply throwing on a suppressor of all things, would you believe it? And more importantly, you'd think the suppressor would hamper the damage of the light machine gun. Nah. No, it certainly doesn't. Still feels like it 3-shot kills no matter what, even with the suppressor attached. The damage output still feels very, very high. Reliably 3-hit killing. I might be wrong, maybe it has been taking 4 shots all this time, but in my head, certainly feels like it's killing them quickly, and, well, if it's working for me, you can't really argue with that. Are they dropping? Yes, then that's good enough for me. Put the damn suppressor on it and let me have my way with them. Do you know what I call this gun? I call it Phantom Power. Phantom because with the suppressor, you have all the stealthy attributes of a ghost. But power because you remain all-powerful. Phantom Power, PKP, Phantom K Power. I don't know what the K is going to stand for. Maybe it doesn't need to stand for anything. Killer, Phantom Killer Power. No, I don't like that too much. It's a little too in your face. I'm out of bullets. Holy shit. Hide. Fuck. Stay in cover. Damn it. But yeah, Phantom K Power. Yes, it can just be the mysterious letter, the mysterious K that never stood for anything, like with President Harry S. Truman. Never had a middle name. He was just Harry Truman, but on his signature he wrote Harry S. Truman. The S never stood for anything. It was just there. Ooh. And I just remembered, with that big loud bang, I've learnt a new way to remove an osprey from the sky using a javelin. And it was a total accident. I was actually doing this game, as you just witnessed. What you gotta remember about an osprey is that they are big bastards, and when they arrive at their designated spot, they don't move. They just hover there in that same vertical line. What you want to do is determine exactly where it's going to stop and drop the packages. So look for the red smoke canister, and then point your javelin at it. Now because your javelin is not pointed directly at the osprey, you're not going to trigger its distress flares. Thus, you can hit it in one shot without diverting your javelin, and because it's a big bastard and it's not moving, as long as you've pointed at the right spot, you are going to smack the poor bugger right out the sky with one shot. And that concludes Javelin 101 with Boo, and that also concludes the PKP gameplay, the Phantom Power, the RPD's long lost cousin, roopity boopity doo, etc, etc. Hope you enjoyed, and I have no idea what's next, and I'm not going to make promises because I always let people down when I promise things. I'm going to stop doing that. Whatever comes next, comes next. Hope you enjoyed, and goodbye for now.